Hey, good morning. Thank you all for making the hike up to this very difficult to find place in order to join us for the SIG Security Maintainer Track Talk, Succession Planting for a Flowering Future. I'm Tabitha Sable. I'm one of the co-chairs, and I'm really glad that I get to help us make this space for ourselves and each other together, and give the mic here to Cailyn to do the rest.
Hi, I'm Cailyn. I am also a co-chair of Kubernetes SIG Security. I'm the newest, freshest, greenest SIG Security co-chair, and during my day job, I do security things at Auth0 by Okta.
Hello, I'm Iain Smart. I'm a consultant at AmberWolf, and I'm one of the co-project leads for SIG third-party audit.
Hey all, I'm Rory. I do security stuff at Datadog, and I am one of the co-leads of SIG Security Docs.
And hello, I work at Isovalent at Cisco. I'm a software engineer, and I will be representing SIG Security tooling today.
So what really is SIG Security? In general, we are a group within Kubernetes that takes a community-based approach in order to improve security for the Kubernetes user base and for the project itself. But specifically, what does that mean? It means that we provide a place where folks within the community and within the project can come together to share their interest and their concerns for how to maintain and improve security. And then we can organize co-working with the various SIGs within Kubernetes in order to make improvements in those areas that they maintain. So for example, Mahé recently led the work to remove the security context deny admission controller that was in the in KK for a very long time, and it provided some bit of a attractive nuisance because if you turned it on, you couldn't run a modern cluster. But it was there, and it was nominally a security feature, therefore it was referenced in compliance standards, things like that. And so a lot of folks had to write a lot of paperwork justifying why they weren't using this outdated thing that was still in Kubernetes. And so, Mahé, along with several other SIG security folks and SIG auth folks, went the long road down the Kubernetes change control process in order to get that removed, and now it's not there to poke anybody anymore. We also maintain some security-related tools and processes used by the project overall. We maintain the official CVE feed, which is a web page and an RSS feed that you can subscribe to and see the newest results. And we have a sub-project that runs and coordinates third-party audits. Since the beginning, we have taken the approach that no one person or organization can adopt a position of authority and demand or dictate security on behalf of the organization. And this comes from the idea that Kubernetes, or any sort of community, is large, and it is what the members make it. So if you think about contributing some code or some documentation to Kubernetes, everyone who works on Kubernetes has the ability to make Kubernetes insecure. Anyone can write a bug, anyone can write bad advice on a blog post, anyone can write a design that has failed to take adversarial nature into account. And if it's the case that we all have the power to make Kubernetes insecure, then it seems obvious to me that also we all have the power to contribute to making it secure. And so that is the approach that we take. We gather folks together with various backgrounds, various levels of experience, and we learn and grow together, and we work together with the rest of the community to make these sorts of improvements. On the subject of learning and growing together, I'm going to hand it off to newest sub-chair here, Cailyn, in order to talk about the future.
Woo! Yeah, so as Tabitha said, her and Iain have done an amazing job of sowing the earth and making a really ripe environment for plants and people to flourish. I have spent much time as a well-tended little seedling, and now I get to move out into the garden proper, where I'm still very well-tended, to be honest. We take care of each other. But here I am growing, and I'm so happy to get to learn from this incredible community and get to be a part of it. As we've gone over, our project is made up of sub-projects, so you can see them here represented in their own little plants and microcosms. There is the documentation project, the tooling project, and the third-party audit, and I'm not going to talk about them because we have experts that will cover them better than I ever could. And the bees are me, Iain, and Tabby just buzzing around, helping where we can, and pollinating the ideas, bringing things from fields afar for the team to work on, and it's just great. It's great. You should come join us. It's a good spot to be. And so what do we have planned for the future? A lot. We're just going to keep on doing the things we do well. We're going to keep on trying to be an open and welcome spot in the Kubernetes community, in the open source community. We're going to continue with the sub-project main initiatives. Again, I don't want to go into any detail, but we have a third-party audit that's occurring now. We are going to continue to work on the Kubernetes docs site, making sure that we're covering the security essentials and that we're removing any stale information and making it as easy as possible for users to know how to use Kubernetes securely. We're going to work on strengthening relationships with other SIGs. Because we make ourselves so approachable, we get approached, and there are a lot of folks who want help and opinions, and we want to give them, and we want to have conversations. We want to make sure that the resources here are available to the greater Kubernetes community when making security decisions or just wanting to hang out. And then finally, at our project booth, we had been approached by a few people who had white papers or had found information online that wasn't necessarily reflective of the current state of security for Kubernetes. So this year, we're going to really try and get out there a little bit more and make sure that not only in the Kubernetes sphere, but in the greater internet sphere, we're trying to remove a little bit of that mess. And one such opportunity is going to be revamping the OWASP Kubernetes Top 10. So if that is appealing to you, which it should be because that's cool, please come join our meeting. We have one not next week, but the week after. And at the end of the presentation, we'll share some links so you can get on our mailing list. That's some of it, and we're going to play it by ear. Whatever comes up, we're going to tackle it. If you have ideas, please come talk to us. Talk to us now. Talk to us later. Find us on the internet. We'd love to hear what you think we should do.
Good, clicker still works. So I'm Iain, still, hasn't changed. I'm four-letter Iain in SIG Security to save for a conflict with the wonderful Iain Coldwater, who is hiding from the stage. I, along with Ray Lahano, help run the third-party audit sub-project. So everybody loves an audit. I'm sure we've all been involved in many and had great fun with all of them. What we're doing as a project is trying to make sure we have external parties perform a dedicated security review of the Kubernetes project and the codebase. We, as much as we can think adversarially and defensively, absolutely can't review everything that's introduced into the project. It's multiple millions of lines of Go and various other programming languages for all the extra projects out there. So we use this project as a chance to get dedicated security time from external vendors to come in and actually provide some effort. And I'm trying to see my speaker notes to see if there's anything else I meant to say. So I'm going to awkwardly move over here, and it'll be like we planned it. So yeah, we're trying to get extra eyes on the code base just to help us find any extra security issues out there. We do have a HackerOne program as well. This is a separate piece of work. So if anyone here is sitting on an ODE in Kubernetes and has found some mad hacks that let you mine Monero in every single cluster, first of all, please let me know, because that sounds fun. But before you do that, not first of all, please email security@kubernetes.io. This is a separate piece of work to the ongoing bug bounty programs and security responsible disclosure. As a little bit of history, we've run 2 third-party audits in the past. The first one was in 2018 with a Treadis and Trail of Bits. If anyone really wants to go and read that report now, the issue for the findings there is 81146 on the Kubernetes repo, if anyone really wants to memorize that number. There was also another review in 2021, and in the spirit of being a flowering seed who can't do the flowery language that Cailyn did, I was actually on the delivery team for that engagement and have now found myself on the vendor side for the current audit. So NCC Group did an audit in 2021. Again, the findings for that are on GitHub under 118980. I thought that was worth telling everyone. So if anyone wants to go and look at those findings, please do. One of our ongoing pieces of work, as well as running a new audit, is going through the findings of the previous ones. We have a number of findings that pesky auto-closing issue robot has marked as stale, so there is an ongoing bit of work to make sure that all of those issues are addressed. A number of them are marked as closed and fixed, so security improvement has demonstrably happened. A number of them has been closed as, we won't fix this, this is intentional by design. So another thing we do as a SIG is make sure that anything that is by design, but we think is a pointy edge that we don't want people to cut themselves on, is make sure that these are documented elsewhere in the Kubernetes documentation as well. And we also have a number of findings which have been marked as they need a KEP. So anyone here who's not familiar with a KEP, it's a Kubernetes enhancement proposal. We have a number of findings which do need some significant effort to actually make a fix. If anyone wants to try and get involved in the Kubernetes code base but wants a clear steer on where they can start, we have a number of known security issues which are requiring some significant effort to avoid breaking changes in Kubernetes that aren't terrible. If they were terrible, scary security things, they would have been fixed already. But we have some that need a little bit of effort. So if you want to get started, speak to me after. We're more than happy to point you in the right direction. And for the future plans, which have become the current plans due to wonderful scheduling. We are currently running the 2025 Kubernetes audit. If anyone wants to read the backstory of this, there is a folder in the SIG Security GitHub repo that documents the RFP we issued. Instead of reviewing the entire code base, which I can tell you from experience is not much fun, we're working through different projects from various different SIGs. So we approached the SIGs at the tail end of last year and said, does anybody have a component you would like to be reviewed? Compiled all of those and put a bid out to vendors. We are working with the Open Source Technology Improvement Fund, OSTIF, this year. They recommended a vendor, well, they recommended a few vendors, we selected one, and the project is ongoing. So the chosen vendor, Shielder, are currently reviewing quite a lot of the sub-projects. I can't remember the whole list, but it is documented. And they are starting to report findings. So we are working with them directly. Every couple of weeks we get an update. We're happy to say there are a couple of findings coming out of that, which are going through responsible disclosure, and we will obviously make sure they are fixed before they go public. But yes, we are starting to get some findings out of this audit, and we are hoping that at the tail end of this year, we should have a report that can be made public. And with that, I will hand over.
Awesome. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about SIG Security docs. What do we do? Well, it kind of says on the slide. We do a couple of things. The one is we try and work across SIGs to improve the security content of the Kubernetes website. Obviously, when people are configuring or managing clusters, they're going to go to the website as a primary resource. So it's really important that we have good security information there. We also do some additional work where we have something like a threat model, which wouldn't necessarily fit as part of docs, and we want to actually have that written as well. So we have some white papers available inside our GitHub repository. But in general, what we try and do is improve the overall documentation of Kubernetes security. And what I would like to do is convince you that you too would like to be involved in documenting the security of Kubernetes, because I think there's a number of really good reasons, genuinely think this is a really good thing to do. So why would you do it? You will understand more about the project. I write quite a lot about Kubernetes and container security. And what I find is the act of writing something down, the act of working out what you need to say, will lead you to better understand something. Whenever I'm writing a blog, I often find out something where I had made an assumption about how something worked or how something was operating, and I'm wrong. So I start writing it down, documenting, go, oh, that's actually incorrect. You improve your learning. A good example of this as an opportunity at the moment is we have got a long-running project to try and develop a hardening guide for Kubernetes. And we've split that into a number of sections that focus on different aspects of the project. A good example, the scheduler one has just finished up. And Anshuman, who's been helping us out with that, is he delved right into the scheduler and understood more about what the security implications of different parameters and different features of the Kubernetes scheduler are. And I learned a lot just by reading and reviewing it and trying to help out getting the thing ready for the website. And I'm sure he learned a lot in actually designing it. So if you get involved in Hardening Guide, as a good example, you will learn things about specific aspects of Kubernetes. But there's more. Oh, almost too much more. We missed the good bit. You will learn things, cool things about Kubernetes. I promise you, you will learn cool things about Kubernetes by involving yourself with security docs. We have another piece of work we just started doing, which is looking at the website and looking at all of the open issues that relate to security and seeing if there's anything we can contribute to getting those issues fixed and closed. And in doing so, I learned things about Kubernetes I never knew, because these are quite kind of in the depths areas sometimes. So one thing I learned was the Kubernetes API server has a self-signed certificate that it uses only for loopback calls, and it has a 12-month lifespan. If your API server is up for more than 12 months, it will crash. And it will crash because that certificate becomes invalid, and it is not reissued until the API server restarts. So if you ever try and leave a Kubernetes cluster running for more than 12 months, that's what's going to happen. Your API server will crash, and now I know why, and now so do you know why. If you read these issues, you too will find things you never knew about Kubernetes, I promise. So that's a great reason to get involved in docs, right? You will learn things, cool things, that are, maybe that one's only good for trivia, but also if you ever have a cluster crashing after 12 months, you can make yourself look so clever by saying, I know what happened. It is the internal certificate. You also get to work with other parts of the project. That's very true as well. Because I think we mentioned it earlier on, is that we don't own the code as a SIG. So what we do is we have to work with the SIGs who do own the code. If you involve yourself with writing docs, you will work with other SIGs, and you will meet other cool people who are involved in the project, and who will help you learn about the things you need to know to write those documentation. You'll work with SIG docs, because SIG docs help us get things into the state and style that is needed for the website. You will work with other SIGs, like SIG Auth, SIG Node, who own the code that we are writing docs about. So it's a great opportunity to learn about and meet other people as well. And with that, I shall hand you on to Mahé to talk about tools.
Thank you, Rory. So now I will talk about SIG security tooling. So here are the few goals we have. Basically, we try to build and improve the security of Kubernetes by writing code and working across SIGs. And I think we have been able to create like a very nice space for new contributors in the past to share and learn. So basically this SIG is organized like this. We meet every other Friday, and on one side you can propose like new learning sessions on toolings and work related to security that you've been working on. Or you can just join the working sessions where we try to actually make progress on the issues. So I wanted to mention some of the work that has been done. We have been running the sneak scanner on the release image of Kubernetes, and lately there have been like a little bit of cross-SIG collaboration to move the scripts from the test infra to the SIG security repository, and move the jobs to less trusted clusters, because we are like SIG security, we want to enforce that on us as well. Another one is the official CVE feed. So Tabby talked about that just before. We created this auto-refreshing list of CVE feed. It's available on the website. You can see there's like a dedicated web page. And you can see we have like this JSON feed and RSS feed that you can consume for all your needs. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Yeah. All right. Please. All right, it's good. So the initial list of tasks we needed to do to make the CVE feed GA is kind of finished. We only mostly have to do the last one now, which is like try to update the CVE feed in real time. So the only issue so far is that the CVE feed can be a bit late. In the worst case, it can be like 12 hours late if the website is not rebuilt by some PR that has been merged in the website repository. So yeah, the idea is just to use like a webhook to try to rebuild the websites. But anyway, the thing is that we wanted to make this feed GA, and recently we've been talking to some people about the way they use the CVE feed, and now we want to include even more tasks in this project. But again, can you go back? Oh, it's okay. So if you want to join this effort, we've been trying to write some documentation about how this thing works. It's a fairly trivial piece of documentation. It's like 50 lines. So if you want to get involved like now, you can check this PR and review it and say if it makes sense or not. You Yeah, I wanted to talk about that as well. We have used this. We have started this initiative a while ago, trying to run the govern check project on Kubernetes. It's been updated recently, but so far we don't do anything with the results. So if anybody's interested about joining and helping us on using these scanning results, that would be nice. And I discovered very recently, actually, that some people at Aqua were creating this new project, which is called the CVE feed OSV. So they were consuming the CVE feed I just presented before for their security scanner project, but they needed actually this OSV format. So lately, the initiative has been mostly to try to move on to this new format for the official CVE feed, try to merge the efforts, and maybe kindly ask to the Kubernetes SRC to issue the initial CVE as an OSV format. Because right now, we consume the CVEs from the KK repository issues, and that's in a very free form. So that would be nice to have something nicely formatted that we can consume, distribute along the JSON and RSS feed. So with that, to Cailyn.
So if you're dying to get involved, which I assume you are because we just talked about a whole bunch of really amazing things and great opportunities, there's some information up here on the slides. The darker blue one that says SIG Security above it is a link to our GitHub repo that has our README, which will get you into the mailing list, and you can read about any of the wonderful things that we've talked about today. The one on the right will get you into Kubernetes Slack, and you can find us at SIG Security. And I mean, if you come to these talks, we're all begging you to join us. But just for an example, my first ever KubeCon was Valencia, and I attended this talk with some of these still here, some of them not gone on to new things. And I felt like I had seen my people and I had seen a spot where I could just exist safely in the community. And so I decided, actually with an audience member, Danny, that we were going to try and go from KubeCon attendee to maintainer in between KubeCons, basically. We applied for a talk, the talk got rejected, but we did the work. We went to the meetings, we showed up, we became known, and now here today, I'm a co-chair, which is wild. People ask me, how did you become a co-chair? I was like, well, SIG Security, they're going to let you grow. They're going to foster you. They're going to fertilize you. They're going to help you become whatever you want to be. If you don't want to be up here, you don't have to be. You can do all sorts of stuff. So please join us. We'd love to have you. We don't have any requirements at the door except be kind and welcoming, as we will be to you, and we'll help you out. And then finally, we have some time for questions, comments, concerns. You can ask us now, or if you'd like to, you can come find us later or find us on the internet. Oh, Mike is running.
I'm a brand new person who doesn't really have a lot of experience in security, and I find the idea of contributing to SIG Security to be really intimidating. What would you say to somebody like me?
I would say within SIG Security, we have a fair number of folks with a lot of experience, but not a lot of time, and with kindness in their hearts. And so somebody like you who would like to become involved, would like to make some contribution, but is afraid of it, we are ready for you. Because if you would like to try something, you can have the expertise of the whole group backing you up to help you to make sure that you are on the right track, to provide you with encouragement. And so I would say, please come. We would love to meet you.
Any more questions?
Well, I think then we've accomplished what we all came here for. Thank you so much for coming, and hopefully we will see you on Slack.